Hi Cancer, how's it going? I hope you're doing wonderful today. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a reading for February. It's a general reading, so just take what resonates and leave the rest for someone else. So Cancer, okay, for people who are cross-watching, Cancer's birthdays are from June 21st to July 22nd. Cancer is a water sign. They're ruled by the moon. Cancer, your self-image card, you got the moon, but we'll get to that. So you're often associated with deep emotions, intuition, and a nurturing nature. Very empathetic and compassionate. You're highly sensitive to others' feelings and can be very caring, loyal, protective. You value family and close friends. You often go to great lengths to protect loved ones. Very intuitive. You have a strong you have strong gut instincts. You can often sense what others are thinking or feeling, and you're very creative and imaginative. Many Cancers have a rich inner world and artistic inclinations, very nurturing, very caring people. You often take on a caretaker role, offering support and comfort. I also want to have a little look at the shadow side. I like to do this because I just think it empowers us when we do this. Cancer, you can sometimes be a little bit emotional or a little bit moody because you feel things so deeply. You may be prone to some mood swings. Maybe not. Take it how it resonates. Sometimes you can be overly sensitive. Criticism or conflict can affect you more than other signs. Sometimes you can be a little pessimistic or worrisome. Sometimes you dwell on the what ifs and overthink situations, and sometimes you can be a little bit clingy or overprotective because it's your loyalty. It can sometimes turn into possessiveness. So just something to think about. If it doesn't resonate, just ignore it. You're a water sign, so emotional, intuitive, nurturing. Your ruling planet is the moon, like I said, emotions, instincts, the subconscious mind. And then your symbol is the crab. So your protective shell on the outside and a sensitive interior. So basically your Cancers are zodiac's emotional anchor. You could be, you feel things very deeply, but you are fiercely loyal, is what Spirit is saying here. So let's go through your Celtic Cross spread. Your first card that came out represents your current situation, and you have the Six of Swords. So this card is about transition, healing, leaving emotional turbulence behind. So this card is saying that right now your energy is moving away from something mentally or emotionally, or your energy is, you're not necessarily happy yet, but you're choosing peace over chaos. Or this card could also indicate in a liminal space, the storm is behind you, but the shore ahead isn't fully clear yet. This is a card of quiet decisions or emotional maturity, or choosing what's better, even if it's bittersweet. So for February, this card suggests you're not in crisis mode anymore, you're in recovery mode. You're letting go of an old story or attachment or mindset. This card can indicate distance from drama or conflict or emotional overwhelm. It could involve setting boundaries or emotional detachment for your self-protection. It's very, I can't carry this anymore energy, okay? It's very, I can't carry this anymore energy, and that's healthy, Cancer. Practically, it could point to a physical move or travel for some of you, or a change in your work dynamics, or you're shifting your social circles. Even if nothing external changes, the mental shift here is huge. You may not feel excited yet. You might be more relieved and tired, but clearer. And then on the shadow side, this card can indicate avoidance instead of processing. So have a look at that. Or maybe you're leaving without fully saying goodbye. Or it could indicate emotional numbness if you suppress instead of heal. So the advice with this card is you don't have to explain your healing to everyone, okay? You're in the middle of a transition this month. You're consciously moving away from emotional heaviness. February is about choosing calmer waters, even if the destination isn't fully defined yet. This isn't running away, Cancer. It's self-preservation. And then what's crossing you or what's challenging you or your situation, or it could be what you're celebrating, is the Devil card, Capricorn energy. So this card is saying, while you're trying to move away from emotional heaviness, this card shows what's making that hard or what you're finally becoming aware of. This card is about attachments you know that aren't healthy, or it could be emotional or behavioral patterns that you keep returning to, or it could be about a person or a habit or a dynamic that feels magnetic to you, but it drains you. It's the pull back into the storm while you're trying to row towards the calm, okay? How this interacts with the Six of Swords is you want peace versus, oh, this is familiar or addictive or comfortable. It's healing versus temptation, or freedom versus a fear of letting go. You may already be halfway out the door, but this card says something still has a grip on you. So what kind of devil energy this could be? It could be a toxic emotional bond or a codependent relationship, or it could be old coping mechanisms like avoidance, numbing, or people pleasing, or it could be guilt, shame, or self-criticism that's keeping you stuck. Or it could be work, money, or obligation chains that feel impossible to break. But the key thing is excuse me, the chains are looser than you think. So if it's a challenge or a celebration, if it's a challenge, the temptation to go back, sabotage your progress, or stay attached might be what this card is saying. Or the celebration could be you finally seeing the pattern clearly. Awareness is huge here. The devil showing up means the illusion is cracking. You're actively moving toward calmer emotional waters, but what's crossing you is an old attachment or a pattern that still has power. So February is asking you to recognize what you're bonded to, not to judge it, but to see it clearly. And once it's seen, it loses control. This month is about a conscious choice, not being perfect, not forcing release, just not lying to yourself anymore. And then your foundation card, the basis of your situation or foundation, you have the Ten of Pentacles. So this card is saying at the root of your situation, at the core of everything, what you're dealing with right now is long-term security. So this could be about your family, either blood or your chosen family. It could be about generational patterns. It could be about stability, legacy, money, home, the life you're supposed to build. Or it could be about expectations that run deep. So beneath the transition of the Six of Swords and the attachment with the devil is this truth. Your choices are rooted in security, loyalty, and permanence. You don't walk away lightly, Cancer, ever. You're trying to move forward. You're trying to move toward peace, but you feel bound to something unhealthy because it feels safe, familiar, or meant to last. It could be staying in a relationship for stability or history or family reasons, or it could be feeling chained to a job because of money or long-term payoff, or it could be carrying inherited beliefs about duty or sacrifice or success, or it could be feeling responsible for others' well-being at your own expense. This isn't reckless attachment, it's deeply principled attachment. This card is about loyalty, commitment, a desire to build something meaningful and lasting. But on the shadow side, it could be staying too long out of obligation, or there could be a fear of starting over, or you may be confusing stability with happiness. This explains why the devil has power here. It's not temptation, it's fear of losing what's being built. So at the foundation of your situation is a deep need for long-term security and legacy. You're not stuck because you're weak. You're stuck because you care. Now February is asking you to examine whether what once felt stable is still aligned with who you're becoming. Peace is not the enemy of stability. And walking away from something unhealthy doesn't erase the love or effort that went into it. And then your fourth card is the Six of Wands reversed. This card represents your past, but is relevant to your current situation. So this card is saying in the past, you experienced either a lack of recognition or validation or victory where you expected it. So this can look like efforts that went unseen or uncelebrated, or it could be feeling overlooked or underestimated or unsupported, or it could be a win that didn't feel like one, or it could be praise or success that was delayed or denied or taken away. And for you, this hurt deeply because you don't seek applause, but you do need to feel valued. This card explains the emotional undercurrent behind the Six of Swords. It's about leaving quietly instead of dramatically. The Devil is about clinging to situations that at least feel familiar. And the Ten of Pentacles is staying loyal to structures that promised stability. You may have learned that if you just endure, eventually you'll be appreciated, but that recognition never fully came. This card, the Six of Wands reversed, suggests self-doubt after being overlooked, or you lowered your expectations to avoid disappointment, or you tied your self-worth to others' approval, or you stayed where you were needed but not where you were celebrated. This makes the Devil more understandable. Sometimes being needed feels safer than risking invisibility again. In the past, you gave a lot without receiving the validation you deserved. That lack of recognition still echoes in the present, influencing why you stay attached to situations that no longer fulfill you. February brings awareness that quiet loyalty is not the same as being valued. You're healing a wound around recognition and worth. You're not running away. You're reclaiming your dignity. I like that a lot. Okay, your immediate future card is the Eight of Pentacles. This card represents what's likely to happen next in your life very soon. After all that emotional processing and internal struggle, your immediate future is about focus, effort, and self-improvement. So this could be choosing your work over worry, or putting your energy into something tangible, or rebuilding your confidence through doing and not overthinking. It's a very one day at a time energy. So how this card fits the spread so far: we go from emotional transition to unhealthy attachments being recognized, to a need for long-term security, to past lack of validation, to earning your self-worth back through mastery. This suggests you stop seeking external validation and start investing in yourself. What this could look like in real life is throwing yourself into your work or your studies or skill building, or it could be improving your health routines or daily habits, or learning something new that supports your long-term stability, or quietly laying groundwork for independence. This isn't flashy success, it's sustainable progress. This card is saying you don't need applause right now, you need alignment. This card heals the reversed Six of Wands by shifting validation inwards. In the immediate future, you channel your energy into building something practical and meaningful rather than staying stuck in emotional loops. You focus on what you can improve, learn, or create, and that steady effort begins to restore your confidence. February starts emotionally heavy but quickly becomes productive. You move from emotional processing to awareness of attachments, to rebuilding something solid on your own terms. Okay. And then your sixth card is the Temperance. This is Sagittarius energy. So this card, upright, this is what you desire most in your situation. And at the deepest level, you don't want drama or revenge or even a dramatic ending. You want balance, emotional peace, integration instead of extremes, or a solution where no part of you has to be erased. Your goal is healing, not escape. You're moving toward peace, you're releasing unhealthy attachments, you're honoring your need for security, you're healing wounds around validation, you're rebuilding through consistent effort, and then we get to inner harmony. You don't want to burn bridges, you want to transform the dynamic, either internally or externally. What this card really means here, what it points to, is emotional regulation or patience with the process, or blending heart and logic, or allowing healing to unfold naturally. It's also a reminder you don't have to choose between security and peace. You can recalibrate. On the shadow side, you may be waiting too long for balance that must be actively created. And on the wisdom side, you know when gentleness is more powerful than force. This card is asking you to be honest. Where can you compromise? Where are you over compromising? The outcome you desire most is harmony, not by denying your needs, but by integrating them. So February invites you to move slowly, intentionally, and with compassion for yourself as you rebalance your life. This is a healing month, not a decisive one. Progress comes through moderation, patience, and steady self-work. Your self-image card, how you see yourself, is the moon reverse, Pisces energy. This card is saying you see yourself as coming out of confusion. You may still feel a little tender or emotionally exposed, but internally you're saying you're finally starting to see things clearly. This card is about emerging from emotional fog or realizing truths you once avoided, or no longer wanting to live in uncertainty or illusion. You don't see yourself as lost anymore. You see yourself as waking up. You feel like the blindfold is coming off. Even if externally nothing has changed yet, internally everything has. You may still be sensitive or processing everything or a little guarded, but you no longer identify as confused or naive. You see yourself as more emotionally intelligent or less willing to self-betray or ready to trust your intuition with discernment, not fear. You may be overcorrecting into emotional detachment, or you may be distrusting your feelings altogether instead of sorting through them, or you may be feeling behind for not seeing the truth sooner. But this card says awareness is the victory. You see yourself as coming out of a period of emotional confusion. You're beginning to trust your clarity, even if it's uncomfortable. So this month marks a shift from emotional uncertainty to conscious awareness. You're not lost. You were learning. Okay? And then your environment, or how others see you and your situation, is the Five of Wands. This card shows that your environment is a little chaotic or competitive, or that others perceive tension around you. This could look like conflict or disagreements or power struggles at work or in your social circles. Or it could indicate a lot of different opinions being thrown at you, or people seeing you as in the middle of all the drama. Or it could be competition or rivalry that feels confusing or stressful. Even if you see yourself as quietly moving toward peace, others may still see turbulence around you. So internally, you're gaining clarity and control, but externally, the world may not realize the shift yet. You could appear in the thick of conflict, even if you're stepping away quietly. You could be dragged back into others' conflicts, but awareness and steady effort helps you stay centered despite all the chaos. So others see drama, but you're quietly navigating toward balance. While you work on moving forward and finding balance internally, your environment may still feel chaotic. Others might see conflict or competition or tension around you, but what's happening inside is a very different story. One of quiet growth and clarity. And then your hopes and fears, what you hope for or fear the most, is the High Priestess reversed. So this card is about intuition, hidden truths, and inner wisdom. But reversed, it shows struggle or uncertainty with that energy. So if it's what you hope for, it's saying you want to trust your intuition fully, or you want to understand the hidden truths of your situation, or you hope to feel confident in your choices and inner guidance. And if it's fears, there may be a fear of making the wrong decision, or there may be fear of being unaware of something important, or there may be a fear of misjudging people or situations, or you may have a feeling, you may feel disconnected from your inner knowing. So there's tension. You want clarity and trust in yourself, but part of you still doubts your instincts, or you worry you don't know enough. You're moving towards clarity, you're leaving emotional chaos behind, but there are attachments that you're trying to break. Long-term stability and security is your foundation. In the past, there were validation issues. In the near future, you're going to focus on mastery, effort, and growth. You have a desire for balance and harmony. You see yourself as gaining clarity. All this external chaos is still visible, but you're hoping for insight and you fear uncertainty. While you're gaining internal clarity, you still fear missing something important or acting prematurely. It's like you see the fog lifting, but are you really ready to trust what you see? This is very Cancer, sensitive, reflective, and intuitive, but you may still overthink or second guess your instincts. You may be hiding from you may be hiding from inner truths or ignoring your intuition because it feels risky. Mhm. You're actively seeking understanding and trusting the process. You hope to fully trust your intuition and inner wisdom, but there's still a fear of misjudging or overlooking something important. So February is asking you to honor your inner voice while acknowledging that uncertainty is part of growth. And then the outcome, if all is to remain as is the Four of Wands reversed. So when it comes out reversed, it's about, or it suggests a delay or disruption in what you hoped would be stable or celebratory, or there may be a feeling like things aren't officially settled yet, or it could suggest that progress has been made, but the sense of security or recognition isn't fully realized. So the outcome isn't about failure, it's about a period of adjustment, patience, and internal work before outward harmony is visible. You're growing, healing, and gaining clarity. Externally, things may still feel unsettled. The celebration is not yet here. Instead, stability is being built quietly, step by step. This isn't failure, it's the universe nudging you to finish the internal work first before external harmony arrives. The key lesson for you here is true balance and stability begin within. You're learning that moving forward emotionally, recognizing unhealthy attachments, and trusting your intuition is more important than immediate recognition or external validation. Milestones will come, just not on the exact timeline you imagined. So, February for you, Cancer, is a month of quiet growth and emotional recalibration. Internally, you're leaving old attachments behind, you're gaining clarity, and you're building your skills and confidence. Externally, things may still feel chaotic, and the milestones or recognition you hope for might be delayed. So this month invites patience, self-trust, and steady effort, reminding you that true stability comes from within before it manifests outwardly. This reading is about a period of emotional transition and self-discovery. It shows you leaving behind old attachments, gaining clarity, and working steadily toward balance and stability, even if external progress feels slow or chaotic. You're breaking old patterns. You're finding inner balance amid all this external chaos. This is great. Okay, so that is your reading, Cancer. If you received any guidance or insight from these messages, if you could please like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment. I would love to hear from you. Thank you for letting me channel these messages today. I'm sending you lots of love and strength and a big hug. Take good care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.